going on, my real estate family, man? I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are well. Unfortunately, I've been sick over the past couple of days, so I didn't really have time to create a video for you guys. I was like, but still, I want to show up for you guys and really give you some good value for today's video because I know I've been posting at least once a week to help you guys, especially for those who have been watching. Shout out to you guys. So, on today's video, what I wanted to do is I really wanted to give you guys a good deep dive in terms of the whole entire framework and also give away some tools and some additional knowledge and strategies that you guys can utilize if you're looking to do this yourself. Okay. So, excuse me. So, many of you guys, I always get this question every single day. Wandile, how does the system work? I'm like, did you check out my webinar? Yes. And they're still confused. And I totally understand. I mean, there's only so much I can say in a 2-hour presentation. So if you've watched my webinar, if you've seen a little bit about what we do, but you're still not sure in terms of how does this thing get me leads? What's the best way for me to qualify the leads? What tools do you use? What can you recommend? What I'm going to do in today's video is I'm literally going to break down in terms of what I've seen work very well for us in terms of ads, just some tips and some strategies and some things to take notes on. So if you don't have a pen and a pad, I highly suggest you get that right now because I'm literally going to be dropping as much value and as much knowledge as I can on each and every single framework. This is what I mean by this is going to be a full-on deep dive so that you guys can really maximize this as much as possible. Now, you have two options at the end of the day, right? You can either figure this thing out yourself or you can get someone else to build it out for you. I'll tell you guys a good example before I jump straight into it. Right now, I am looking at optimizing my content. So I'm trying to figure out what is the things that's working and stuff that's not working, of course, so that we can start getting more engagement, more views, etc., etc. Now, I can either try and figure that out myself or I can go work with someone who's already figured it out. And I thought to myself that this stuff is not difficult. I'm pretty sure I can figure out my own. And I'm realizing right now that no, this is a lot more work and a lot deeper than it looks. So I'm actually looking at working with a content creator who's doing very well helping other people with their businesses blow up on social media. So again, the point I'm trying to make here is that you really have two options, guys. You can either do this yourself or you can work with someone who already has figured all these things out. Okay. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. So this is the entire framework and let's just jump straight into the beginning. So in the beginning, we want to run ads so we can start attracting the leads because without this process, then we don't have any leads. So we need at the top of the very funnel, we need as many leads coming in as possible. So where do we run our ads? We run mainly on Meta. Now, we're also running ads on TikTok for my personal business, and you can also run ads on Google. My personal advice across Meta, TikTok, and Google. Meta, hands down, has better data because they've been around for the longest time. All right. And then there's Google as well. The thing about Google, and some of you guys might be wanting to play around with Google, Google has high intention leads, but the problem is it's more expensive because now you're competing with the corporates, your P24s, private properties, etc., etc. All right. So it's not to say that you won't get good results, but I would highly suggest Meta is one of the easiest ways to go around it. Why? Because Meta allows you to be more creative, which means that you have a better leverage. What do I mean by that? Your big companies like your P24s and your private properties, they don't have a solid creative team that knows how to capture the attention of the market. Whereas with Meta, the only way you can succeed with Meta is by having ad images and ad videos that capture your market's attention, of course, with a good offer and a good hook. But so what I've noticed, especially with these corporate companies, they don't have advertisers that have that creativity. So if you are creative and you know exactly how to split test your ads and see exactly what works compared to just running Google ads and competing with the big corporates, I would highly say Meta is the best way to go because there's so much traffic on Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, that you could kill it on Meta as opposed to Google. Google is a little bit more expensive. Now, in terms of TikTok, TikTok again doesn't have, this is my personal opinion. I don't feel that TikTok has enough data as of yet in terms of who exactly to target. So we're still testing that out. But right now, I'd say Meta hands down. If you've got budget, go ahead and push for Google. Now, what I've seen work very well in terms of ads, I've seen image ads work very well, but not your typical professional image like ads, right? This is one ad that does very well for us, all right? As you see, does this have the property owner's name, their logo? No, it doesn't have that at all. In fact, it doesn't even look like an ad, right? It's just we have a way to get our audience's attention. And if you can figure out a way to get your audience's attention by creating ads like this that just pop out and get their attention, boom, you're good to go. Another tip I'll give you guys is that the yellow and black overlay hands down always beats every other ad that we do. So if you see here, if you've got Neisner homeowners, it's got the black text in bold and the yellow border on that. Always, it just works very well. So black text, yellow overlay, or sort of like as a background, always works hands down. As again, I'm just giving you guys as much as I can think of in terms of ad images. Another thing I've noticed, especially when it comes to ad images, the maps work very well, but you want to add different variations on it. So when we add different variations, like maybe adding on lines on the road and make that yellow, that works out pretty well. When we put like icons on the maps, so you see here, there's different icons, that works very well. We're testing out new ad images, making it a little bit more local, but I've noticed that the yellow overlay with the black text and bold always works very well. Maps always works very well. There's another ad that we've done. It has just the name of the area and then the street names on it. That works very well. An offer that always pulls numbers every single time is a curiosity-based offer where it's like, hey, do you want to find out what your home could be worth this year, for example, because home values have changed? That works very well. Whenever we speak about the economy has changed or economists predict that home values in Centurion or Neisner might change, click here to see what your home might be worth today. Boom, that always works very well. So you want to find ways to be creative. As you see can you see the direction I'm taking here? Not many corporate companies will think to that extent. Many of them will just be like, adding their agent's face and the logo, and it's like, okay, cool, there we go, you're good to go, right? Those ads don't work. We've tried it, guys. They don't work at all. Hence, I was saying that you have two options. You can try to figure it out yourself, or you can work with a team that has done this 1,000 times, that you know you're guaranteed to get results. And that is exactly what I like to focus on. So that is what I would advise from the ad side. Always, 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 and this is another tip, test out new images. Don't get too comfortable. Okay, some of you guys will run one ad image for eternity. No, guys. The thing is, and what you want to do is that you always want to have variation. Always have variation. So we always testing out 4 to 8 images every single week. Sometimes we'll test out 5 to 10 images every single week, right? Because remember, guys, your audiences are seeing your ads consistently all the time. And what we're trying to figure out is which of those images are getting our audience's attention. Because once we can find that combination, the killer combination, boom, we're good to go. How do I know that yellow and black work very well? How do I know that maps work very well? How do I know that when you put on an agent's face and logo, it doesn't work? It's because we've tried out and tested these things out consistently all the time. And we've noticed that there's patterns throughout every single time. So always make sure you're testing out new images. If I could say this, I'll say it right now, guys. The ad's success is all dependent on 80%. I would say 80% of your ad success is dependent on the image or the video. All right, because that is what gets people's attention. If you can capture them, right, with your ad image, you've got 80% of them, right? Now, the only way you're going to get them to convert is if your offer works very well. So we've had countless times where we had an image that got their attention, but the offer just wasn't working. So we'd have a really good image, but then the offer wasn't just working the way that we wanted. And don't be super direct. Guys, we've tried it all. We've tried, hey, if you're ready to sell your house, click now. If you're thinking about selling, click now. None of those ads worked. They all tanked. But the minute we're like, hey, the economy has changed, click on this link below to see if your home value has changed, boom, ads always shot up. So always focus on a curiosity-based ad. Never, ever, ever, ever focus too much on being direct. Okay? That is the best advice I'd give you guys from an ad perspective. Now, cool. Now remember, guys, the whole purpose of the ad is to attract them, is to get them to click. All right. Many of you guys just think, okay, let me just get an ad and it's done. No, guys, you've just done part one. And I see many, it's funny because every time when I'm running ads and people watch my webinar, and I've seen people comment on my ads like, oh, this guy's a scammer. You know, he just teaches you how to run ads and attract leads. And I laugh because it's like, that is the easy part. So all you guys took My masterclass is the step one, which is the easiest part, which is running ads. Guys, attracting leads is not difficult at all. If you literally just take all my advice right now, leads will start swarming in. The difficult part is converting them, and that's the whole purpose of my masterclass, is to teach you how to convert these leads. And that's what many people who see my ads or who watch my masterclass don't get, right? But I understand, right? Anyways, so this is part one. It's the easy part. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit more tricky, which is the qualification part. Now, we need a landing page, guys, to qualify these leads, or we need a form to qualify these leads. Why? Because you're going to get a lot of people who click. The thing is, guys, Meta is going to do everything that it can to show your ads to as many people in the areas that you have selected. Okay, go watch some of my videos. I think in the past week or so, I do show you step by step how to actually create an ad, and I actually walk you through how to do the targeting. But you have two options to qualify your leads, right? You can either do it via landing page, or you can do it via a lead form. Landing page, I've seen, has better quality leads, but the volume is lower. Lead forms has, I'd say it's a mixture. It's like a 50-50, but a higher volume of leads. So it always really depends in terms of what you guys want. Personally, I always like to say volume, volume, volume. Unless you have budget, and unless you're ready to spend $200-400 a day on advertising, don't use landing pages, because you're not going to get enough leads. If you don't get enough leads, then it's going to be very difficult for you to close the leads. So I would highly suggest use lead forms. And when you're utilizing lead forms, don't go too crazy with conditional logic. What is conditional logic? That's where you can basically create if statements. So if this lead says that they're looking to sell right now, let's find out why they're looking to sell right now. That's too much. Don't go that deep yet. Okay. What we just want to do right now is that we want to capture someone that's interested, right? Especially if you want to capture as many leads as possible. Get someone that is just interested. Get someone who saw your ad, they're like, okay, yes, I want to know the value of my house, and then get them straight to a lead form, and then boom, done. Good to go. If I have time, I'll walk you through in terms of how that looks in a nutshell, just so that you just get them in, right? You don't have to ask too many questions. Make it very simple as possible. All right. So landing pages, for those who want to utilize landing pages, we use Go High Level. I'd highly suggest you can go use ClickFunnels, guys. There's so many different landing page builders, right? Because I see on my webinars, people are like, oh, well, what tools? Yeah, you can go to ClickFunnels. There's Go High Level. There's landing page builder. There's, oh, shucks, guys, there's a lot. Just Google it, right? There's a lot of different landing page software tools that you can utilize, that you can connect it to your ad. So as soon as they see your ad, then they'll jump on this landing page, and then they can answer some questions. But if you're not tech savvy, then just use the forms. And guys, we've split testers. Forms are still pretty good. You just need to have maybe 1 or 2 questions that will qualify them. Okay. Now, this is what we like to do in our system, is that if they are qualified based on the landing page, then we get them to book an appointment. All right. Which is this process here, where it's another landing page, but it's a quick video of the agent that quickly walks them through what to expect. Because remember, we had this ad that enticed them about getting to know the value of their house, and then we quickly qualified them. So let's say this lead said, yes, they're looking to sell as soon as possible. If they're happy with the price of their home, they've provided us their address, and they've given us their details, and we can see that they qualified, then we get them to book an appointment. All right. So they'll see this video, and then they're able to book an appointment. Now, in the case that someone is not qualified, I always like to say that I don't care if this person is 10 years old, if they're a Nyaupe boy, if they're a teenager, or if they're unemployed. At some point in their life, they will need to either buy or rent a house. So what we like to do is that if they're not qualified to move forward immediately or within a month or two, then we put them in a database, and then we send automated value emails. Now, this happens all simultaneously, right? This is on autopilot. So we'll send them emails for the next 6 to 12 months. And the whole purpose of these automated emails is to educate them, because 9 times out of 10, these people are not educated enough. Now, how do we send these automated emails? Again, it's our own internal system where we are able to then send those automated emails. Now, you can use MailChimp, I think you can use Popcorn, but I think the problem with Popcorn is that you're not able to set out if statements. So what we do is that we say, hey, if somebody opens up our email, send them this email. If somebody doesn't open this email, send them this email. So we've got different automations in place to ensure that we are sending out specific emails to certain leads and specific emails to leads who haven't opened, right? And the leads who have opened the emails, we want to then follow up during and after 90 days, because then they've showcased some interest. We want to see exactly where are they right now in the selling or the buying process. But if they haven't opened up the emails, we'll just keep sending emails until they open up the emails, and then we follow up after 90 days. Now, in the case of someone who has already booked an appointment or someone who is qualified and they book an appointment, not everyone will book an appointment. So one thing I always like to tell my clients is that they want to look at all the clients or the leads who have booked appointments, and then those who haven't, normally what happens is that we send them an automated WhatsApp message. So this happens in two scenarios, right? So the first scenario is that if they book an appointment, we'll send them an automated WhatsApp confirmation message. But if let's say that they haven't booked an appointment, we will still send them a WhatsApp message to say, hey, thank you so much for opting in. I'm more than happy to answer a couple of quick questions. Tell me something, can you quickly confirm your address, as an example, just to start off the conversation. And then the agent will then go and find out more information, because then this lead hasn't necessarily booked an appointment yet. So 9 times out of 10, we've noticed that they still want to find out more information. So because they want to find out more information, then this is where we have that automated WhatsApp message to start off the conversation, and then the agent will then be able to conversate with them and see exactly what's going on. All right. And then after that, it's just a case of having that face-to-face appointment and you're good to go. Now, GHL. So it basically connects to our system. So it's an external company. Let me try and see if I can show you guys so you guys can see. This is the company here, WHGHL. So we use that for our own system, and then it basically just connects it to the landing page over here, and then sends those automated messages. All right. Now we also have conversational AI, which we're rolling out, which has not face to face, but personal conversations. So what the AI tool does is that we tell the AI tool, look, your core role is to sound genuine, friendly, answer as many questions as possible, but your core focus is to get them to book a face-to-face appointment with this client. So that AI's core job is to have text conversations, right, all on autopilot. All right, it's going to answer questions, it's going to ask them questions, it's going to build that relationship, but the goal is to get that automated appointment. All right, so that the client can go see the lead face to face. And that is literally it, guys. In terms of booking appointments, we use Calendly. I think you can use you can use Schedule Once. That's another tool that you guys can utilize, which will definitely work. I'm just trying to think of all the other things as well. To qualify your leads, you guys can also utilize Typeform as a way to use questions on your landing pages if you don't have any questionnaires. And yeah, I think that's really about it, guys. That's the system in a nutshell. It's not that difficult at all. There's just different tools and tech that needs to be integrated at the end of the day. But it all stems from, as I said, the ad. The ad is the best way to attract the lead, but that is just step number one. Right? Step number one is the easiest part. The tricky part is having a system that's going to be able to get the leads to give you their information, right? So that they qualified. And if they qualified, we need to get them to book an appointment. If they don't book an appointment, then we send them an automated WhatsApp message so that the agent is able to then contact that lead and pick up the conversation from there to get more face-to-face appointments if they haven't booked an automatic appointment. And then if they haven't necessarily qualified, we put them in the database and send automated emails, and then we follow up during and after 90 days to see exactly where they're at. Now, the key point here, and this is where I see many agents go wrong, is many agents get overwhelmed because what happens is that now they've got a system that's attracting the leads, that's qualifying the leads, and now they're getting people who have qualified but haven't booked appointments, and now they need to confirm those appointments via WhatsApp by engaging with them. But again, they're all over the place. They're not organized, they don't know what they're doing, and because of that, they're like, oh, I need to switch off the ads. And then we switch off the ads, and then the tap runs dry. And now it just makes this whole entire process go dry because they were just so overwhelmed. And one thing I noticed about many agents is that they don't have a system on how they will manage their leads, how they will talk to their leads, how they'll follow up effectively. The best way I could really explain it is that they're figuring things out as they go. So I always like to tell my clients, as soon as they join, that they need to have a system in place and they need to track everything, because if they don't do that, then they're going to be in trouble, because the system will give you leads, it will pump out leads. But if you don't know how to track and see who's booked an appointment, who hasn't booked an appointment, and essentially how to sell effectively, then you're in trouble. All right. And another thing I noticed is that when they have the face-to-face appointments, they still don't know how to sell themselves as an agent. All right. So I've noticed that for them, we need to then train them in terms of how to stand out, how to be the better preferred agent, how to not sell themselves as any other agent, but someone who's different according to how they've even attracted the lead. So those are all the small things I've noticed working with so many agents that they still need to work on and improve on. And then let me just try and quickly see if I can show you guys. Just want to see if I can quickly show you guys some results of if you have the right ad images, how powerful it is. Let's try and quickly open this up. All right, guys, so take a look at this. And this is just to show you the power of having the right ad image and the right offer. Okay, so take a look here. So for this particular client, we started running ads, boom, 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 in Jan. And then take a look here. We're using landing pages, but take a look at that. 9 website submit applications, 82 Rand. So she's paying 82 Rand for one person to come in through a landing page. All right. So again, this is where we're testing out a new offer and new ad images, and that just didn't work out pretty well because as you can see, she spent quite a bit for 82 bucks, right? So like, okay, cool. Let's try out something different. So we tried out something different again in February. Now, bearing in mind, guys, this is one of my best clients. So this is just to give you a little bit of an idea in terms of stuff that we're testing out to see what's working, what's not working. Here's another one. Trying to find new sellers. In February, she only got one lead, and one lead was 285 bucks. That's a lot of money, right, that she was spending. So we're like, okay, let's scrap that. And then she wanted to do a show house, but then the seller decided to end that campaign. I've seen show houses are the easiest, guys. Any campaign to attract buyers or doing show houses is the easiest. Look at that, 11 Rand cost per lead. All right, cool. Seller campaigns is what I would say is the most tricky one. But here we go. Seller campaign test. We did another test, again, very high. And I was like, okay, cool. There's another angle that I want to try out. And then there we go, new angle. She got 12 leads, but then take a look at that. Cost per lead was super high, right? So take a look at that, right? Let's see, boom, very high. Guys, 628 bucks for one lead, 206, 135, 625. I was trying out different messages, as you guys can see, and it just wasn't working. So I just said to her, okay, cool, let's just go back to what's worked for us, right? I was like, let's just go back to the same offer that we've been running last year. Let's just go back to the same offer. Let's just go back to the same images. We actually tested out one image that worked very well with one or two of our clients in Cape Town. Just this client is based in Joburg. We're like, let's try that out. And then boom, we launched this ad, guys, on Friday. Take a look at this. 75 leads, guys, from Friday. 75 leads. Okay, and look at that cost per lead, 16 Rand, guys. But take a look at all the other tests. This was 257. This was 107. This was 82. This was 24. That, look at how high it was. And then look here, she's got 75 leads. Look at all these other leads here, and the cost per lead is very high, especially from the seller campaign. And look, she's killing it. Let me just quickly see if I can see. Yeah, look, maps. Guys, come on. Come on, guys. Look at that. 14 Rand, 17 Rand, 18 Rand, 29 leads, 24 leads, 20. Guys, this ad has been active it's been active for 3 days. And already it's killing it. It's crushing it. Look at that. And you see, maps. So I'm not lying here, guys. I know what I'm talking about. All right. When you find what works for you, stick with it. Okay. And I'm going to be following up with her today to see how things are going. But there you go. All right, listen to what I say, guys, because everything I say in these videos, I have tried and I have tested these things. And it just goes back to what I was saying, is that you have 2 ways to do things. You can either go and figure it out yourself. And if you're going to figure it out yourself, trust me when I say that these numbers, 257, 107, 285, 82, all right, all those high numbers are going to be very normal for you because you're still trying to figure things out. So your cost per lead is going to be very high. But if you're working with someone that knows exactly what they're doing, then you know for a fact, boom, you know you guaranteed these leads. As I said, guys, why do most agents or some of our agents in our program struggle is because how the hell do you deal with 75 leads in a space of 3 days? It's difficult, right? So what does that do? That exposes the fact that you are not even organized in your own system. You don't have the right systems in place to deal with that volume of leads. So we only test new things out with 1 or 2 clients. But every client of ours, we always make sure we give them these type of results because the focus for us at the end of the day is to help you get as many leads as possible, which are quote unquote qualified, right? They have to go through that entire process. So it's very, very, very important, guys, to understand this distinction. Getting leads is easy if you know what you're doing. The tricky part is how to qualify and then book appointments and then close them. That is the difficult part. And that's where we help you optimize that. So if you need help and if you're like, Wandile, can you help me? Maybe take a look at my ads, maybe take a look at my process. I'm happy to do a free audit. If that's you, all you just need to do, click on the link in my description and then let's have a chat. Let me see how I can help you provide it. Let me do a free audit. Let me see how we can help and assist. And if it's a case where you're like, I want to work with you guys, right? Because I'm tired of trying to do this stuff myself. I'm not trying to be spending, 257 costs per lead. Then click on that link in the description. My calendar will be there. Let's have a chat. Let's see how I can help and assist you and get you these results. Anyways, guys, if you got a lot of value in this, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share this with another agent, especially an agent who was like, oh, and he's a scammer. I don't trust him. I don't know if he's the right guy. Well, show him. Guys, here's actual results, right? I do this on a daily. We do this always consistently. And I know exactly what's the best way to help you get leads, qualify them, and get booked appointments. Anyways, guys, it was a pleasure. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.